So that that scene I just referenced where Precious is like nobody loves me, and the teacher's like I love you. That's kind of Precious's big scene in the movie. So I'll give the movie a little bit of credit. Like for the most part, it doesn't do that. But that scene wasn't needed. You know how much she's dying inside. Like just show her walking down the street and show her face, and that's all you need. You know her situation, but that's an example of where it combined with the flashy style of the movie that includes like those fantasy scenes where it's just it kind of rubbed me along the way. It kind of went a little overboard, and it is a little melodramatic in a bad way at points. It's like how much bad things could you have happen to this girl? And I know I get it. The shit like that happens in real life. Believe me, I've been through some shit myself. It just sucks. But it's just you don't have to overdo it to get your point across. I mean, people just show it. Don't tell me, show it. Show how bad it is. I don't need her to tell me that how bad it is. Just show it. You don't need to show the fantasy sequences of her dreaming of getting out of there. It's bad enough. I get it. So those are the things I just didn't like about the movie. And it didn't, besides, the flashiness and this overuse of style for no reason, and the points where it does get overwrought, is parts of it are underdeveloped. And then in the second half of the movie, it's just kind of going in all these different directions, and it doesn't seem to know where it wants to go. And it kind of does. It does end on like this humdrum ending or predictable ending, and the ending just seems like it's kind of lost in all these other things that are happening, and it's just not tightly woven narrative here. It's the first half, yes, but in the second half, it's just like you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but what's more important, this or that, or the relationship with her crazy fucking mom. And the best thing about the movie is her mom, Monique, and she won the Oscar for it. I don't know if I'd say she deserved it or whatever, but she's electrifying in most scenes that she's in. She's scary. She plays an abusive parent who is like on food stamps and just all around terrible person very well, and in a three-dimensional way that's probably one of the main reasons to see it besides Precious, the main character. Like, yeah, she's a well-drawn character, but her mom, it comes close to being. That's the thing about this movie. Everything comes close to being over the top and overwrought, and for the most part, it doesn't. It does this tightrope walk through the whole movie with all this material that was just could very easily be done wrong. But like I said, just unfortunately, sometimes it does do it wrong. But the mom is just one of these scary, crazy parents that I wish I could think of. You know, at the moment, I can't think of any other examples of this where like the just the abusive parent that you're scared the hell out of. Oh, I think here's one I could think of. David Strathairn and Dolores Claiborne. He was like this scary parent where you know when he was just gonna pick up a piece of wood and just whack his wife across the back with it. That's kind of how Monique operates in this, and she's very good. She has the best scenes. She's a scene stealer. I can see why they gave her the Oscar for it. She's good in it, and she's believable. She seems like one of these ladies from the ghetto or something that just beats the hell out of her kid and is just half nuts. She tells her kid, "You don't listen to those white people. Education ain't gonna do nothing for you. You gotta get on that welfare. You better go to the welfare office." And combined with the look of their apartment and the way Monique looks and the way she acts, it feels very authentic. She's very good at it, so props to her. She did a good job. She's scary in it. I think that a couple times they went little too far with her, which just throwing shit. Like if you got hit in the head with that stuff, it would knock you out. You'd be bleeding, and Precious just walks away. So I know it's fake and they're throwing candy and shit, but this is a movie. You're trying to make people believe that she's really hurting her. But anyways, like I said, they do kind of go. There's points where they go too far with everything in this movie, and it's a little too slick for its own good, and blah blah blah. But you know, Monique makes it work, and Monique has some of the best scenes in near the end. She has some really good scenes where it's not just over top; it's just good acting, and it's probably some of the clips you've seen of it where she's like, "Who else would love me?" But it's good acting when she's sitting in this like she's sitting in a food stamp office trying to make her case. I don't want to give anything away, but she has some good scenes near the end, and they're believable. And I bought her character. It seems like and I'm sure both her and her daughter, this happens in real life. I'm not trying to bad talk the movie or whatever. It's just one. It's not the type of movie I'd really really go for. I just don't like the genre about. I don't like the education genre, even though like I believe in education and whatnot. And like the whole inner city stuff. I think sometimes that stuff is done for titillation and exploit. It's exploitative, and I think this is kind of in that vein. It's kind of exploitative of people's problems, real problems, without really. No, don't get me wrong. It does explain how these problems can. It gets to like the nitty gritty of what's wrong with society and stuff. It's just. I wish some of it could have been done with a lighter touch. And I just think some of it could have been done better. And I think the second half of the movie could have been a little tidier, little trimming there and here and there. Nothing wrong with the performances, and there's really nothing wrong with the story. It's just there's nothing new with the story really that I see that makes it so great. I don't get why I got like this big ovation, standing ovation for 10 minutes or whatever at Sundance. I don't get why it was such a big deal outside of the performances. Good performances. It's a good story, but it's been done before, and I think it's probably been done better somewhere. Who knows? So for Precious, I'd probably give it 3 out of 5 stars. We're seeing for some pretty riveting performances, and it is a decent example of its genre. It's just not a genre I love, and I think that the genre has better examples out there. So thanks for watching, guys, and Lord, who knows what the next movie will be. I ran out of all the movies I have right now. I think next on the way from Netflix will either be I hope The Messenger with Woody Harrelson. I've heard good things about it, and it looks good. It looks to show like that other. One thing I hate about movies is when they announce the soldier's dead. They have like these two guys come to the house, and the wife never says anything. She just drops her cup or falls on the floor. And I think this movie is actually going to show what they say to the families of the people that died, because that's what it's about. It's about Woody Harrelson as one of those guys that goes to families and tells them, "Hey, your husband, your son died, whoever." I'm interested to see that. Got good reviews, and I heard it's one of Harrelson's best performances. I love Harrelson. So hopefully that's next. If not, I think Netflix might send me Bad Lieutenant Port of Call New Orleans next. Which I don't know if that's supposed to be a sequel or what is that with Nick Cage. I'm interested to see it. Or who knows, we'll see. But I'll be back soon, guys. Thanks for watching.